Welcome back, guys. This is the 100k build challenge, day 4. If you're new here, this is a challenge that I took upon myself as a 15-year-old vibe coder, that I will be making $100,000 using only AI tools and while building something. So I'm building a fitness app right now, and we're going pretty good. We did a lot of good stuff today, so I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, welcome back. I'm on my laptop here, and before we get into what we're going to do today, as always, I wanted to go over what we did on the last episode. So the last episode, we tested the auth module we made in the second episode, the front end and back end. We saw that it properly communicates with the Supabase. The front end works. Expo Go works. We checked the web version, but I haven't tested the Android version yet, but I'm gonna test it soon. But we saw that the web version works, so now we're gonna go over what we're gonna do today. So after the auth module here, it says the challenges module, but that's probably the last thing we will be working on, and that's the most important, so we gotta pay more attention and time to it. But we're gonna go on onboarding today, because after you sign up, we're gonna onboard you on, and then we will start giving you challenges and stuff. So today we will be working on the onboarding module, both on the front end and back end. So the same way we did on the auth module, we're gonna make the back end first, then we're gonna go to front end. So the first thing I will do here is, so I just told it to read the memory bank files, and specifically the PRDs we have set up here, these ones, to properly understand what we're working with and what we're trying to do. Now it's going over them file by file to understand them properly. Okay, so it read all the files here, got a good understanding of the project structure, and gave me a detailed plan. Then I asked it a couple of clarifying questions I had with the structure, and now it's implementing it. What happened was, when we created the Expo app project, the placeholders we had outside of it, just like the backend, like for each module, they went here inside the modules of the source folder. So they're all in here instead of outside of the Expo app as I wanted to, but whatever, it works. So looks like it's done. It has added 1,690 lines of code to the workspace, not in a single edit, because that would be catastrophic, but in like hundreds of them, I must say. And what it did was, it has created the front end essentially in the Expo app. I wanted to work on the back end first, but because I talked about the Expo app with it, it just created the directory there and started implementing it. It implemented the components, the screens, the navigation, and then updated the memory bank. This is all good, and the next steps it tells us are implementing the back end. So that's what we're going to do next. So essentially, we're done with the front end. Now we go to the back end. Let's go. Again, as always, we keep all, because this is vibe coding, baby. And new chat. Because it has already updated the memory bank, I'm not going to tell it to do that again. But if it hasn't, I will always tell it to update the memory bank, so the next chat will be on par with what this chat was doing. So now we create a new chat, and we tell it to start implementing the backend. So I told it to read the memory bank again, read the front-end files we created, and then go study how to implement the backend. It's going to go through every file, understand them all, maybe go through the front end we have in the Expo app right here, the onboarding module. We've implemented a lot of things here. It's going to go through those, and then it's going to start implementing the backend. So looks like it's done reading the files, and now it gave me a plan for it. I didn't tell it to use sequential thinking, but now it's using sequential thinking to properly start implementing this. That's awesome. And we have the memory bank always in its context, so you'll never forget what we're talking about. That's the beauty of the memory bank. It's like a unified place you save everything. And the AI will never hallucinate in that point. Alright, looks like it is done. It says, excellent, we've successfully connected to Supabase. Well, it finished the backend. I said, have you set up the Supabase connection properly? And it said, oh, I'm sorry for the overhead kind of thing, I don't know. And then it started working on the Supabase integration, and it finished now. I think it's gonna work properly. Now we're gonna say, is the backend done? Because I don't know, the message got finished without it being done. Yes, looks like the backend is done. Now we're done with the backend. I'm gonna keep all, because again, this is vibe coding, baby. And I will say, update the memory bank, because it didn't do that. Okay, so it's done with the changes to the memory bank files now. I'm gonna keep all of this, and we're gonna open a new chat now. Because we did the front end first, now we gotta update the front end to use our back end. So I'm gonna tell it to read all the memory bank files, or just add it to the context here first. So now I told it to read the memory bank files, specifically the ones for onboarding, front end and back end, so it understands it better. Alright, so here it has read the memory bank files and everything. It says that both of them are done. Like, I didn't really need to tell it what to do, to be honest. It says, according to the memory bank files, both the front-end and back-end implementation of the onboarding modules are complete, and the next step is to connect it to the back-end API. So it's actually understanding what the next step is. I didn't really need to tell it, so I will just say, do that. So I just told it to keep going now and connect the front-end to the back-end APIs, so we could test this. So looks like it made all the changes here. So it added the API service configuration, the service improvements, enhanced error handlings, added proper token handling, improved logging. By the way, behind this augment, the base model is Cloud 3.7. So all this makes sense now, because I never asked for any of these. I mean, I'm not complaining, these work. Redux slice updates and the UI enhancements, the navigation flow, it improved all of that, the development tools and everything, and then it updated memory bank. So it says the next step would be to implement the profile management module. That's obviously the next module we're going to be working with. But now, one more thing it implemented that I wanted to ask it later. So it created a bat file that I can run, and all the front end and the back end for both the services and the Expo app all three of them will start running, and that will just save the headache of running each and every single one in a different terminal here one by one. So that's pretty cool. Now I'll just keep all of this and I will run this. Let's run this bat file here. Just gonna make a new terminal. There we go. Now we run npm run dev. And it should be running. There we go. Onboarding service running on port 3001. Now we go to this one and we say cd project hard / backend and then auth. Now we npm run dev here too, and this one's running too. So now we come back here, we cd into project hard front end this time. I think cd project hard front end, or just that's it. Now we say npx expo start. That's how we start expo. It says expo install. Let's install that. Or no, wait. Control C this. We have to cd into the expo app too. Now we run npx expo start. There we go. We don't need to install anything here. So the onboarding service is running, the auth is running, and now it's bundling the expo. So when that's running, we can test everything. Obviously, we're gonna make a lot of changes to all of this. The onboarding is the first thing people see when they go to your app after they sign up. So that's gonna be really helpful for them to like set up stuff. It should be the hooking them up properly and giving them enough value for them to stay. Just let's open the web option. And all right, guys, it's been a long time. So I've been working on this for some time now. I fixed a lot of issues, fixed the login issue. I added a logout button at the end of the onboarding screen. I fixed the onboarding screen. I fixed some issues with Supabase, the rules and stuff, a lot. So all of them are fixed now. So in theory, it should be working right now. We're gonna test it together. So let's go. We're gonna go from the beginning. So from sign up, sign in, onboarding, and then the logout. Now, this is the sign up here. Let's register. I cleared the database so I can use the same email to register. I don't have to put a new email every time. Now, as you can see, the server is online. Now let's log in. And this is what the onboarding screen will look like. It says what to expect, personalized weekly challenges, mental toughness exercises, progress tracking, a journey outside your comfort zone. Pretty cool. We're gonna change a lot of these stuff because this is very boring. I'm making this for myself, and as a user, I say this is boring. It has to have animations and stuff. So now let's begin. It asks you the fitness level you think you're at. I think I'm an intermediate. I'm not a beginner. So here, you see there are some problems here. This is built for a mobile, so when you touch the screen to scroll, it will scroll. With Expo Go, I have to zoom out here to see the continue buttons and stuff. So let's just choose something and then click continue. Now it's the limits page. If you have any limitations, a physical limitation like knee issues, back pain, shoulder issues or something. I don't have any limitations, so then we click continue. And the last page is the personality. It says select the traits that best describe your personality. So I'm gonna say competitive, disciplined, social, and goal-oriented. Now when we click complete, it should complete the onboarding. It doesn't. It says duplicate key value violates unique constraint. So let's fix this real quick. Just gonna take a screenshot of this, give it to augment, and see what it says. Okay, so it says it has fixed the issue. Let's try this one more time. And it says request failed with status code 409. So I saw what the issue was. It said because you're using the same ID, user ID, it's gonna like constrain it. There's one already in there. So I'm not a new user, but there is the same user ID in the table, so I can make a new account with it. Now I gotta go fix that. Probably use a new ID. We're gonna go with a new email. Here in the, let's refresh this, I guess. Log out. Exactly. Now right here we're gonna log in with another email just to test it out. I don't think this email is there. Yes, let's log in. Invalid login credentials. Exactly. Now let's sign up with that email. Same password. Now checking authentication. Now when we log in, it should be there. So let's finish it this time. I'm gonna go over it pretty fast because we already did talk about this part. I think I have to choose 4 here. Okay, so it still doesn't work. Let's check what is happening. It did work one time. User attempted to create a second profile. Duplicate key violation for user. Fetching existing profile instead. Creating fitness profile for user. Fitness profile for user. What is happening here? Alright, let me refresh this page. Okay, so looks like the onboarding is done. There was a couple of issues with the setup and stuff, and some bugs. Those are for the future to fix them, and we're going to change a lot of stuff in the onboarding and the auth modules and everything, so that's going to take some time. So essentially we're done for today, and I hope you guys enjoyed or learned something, and I will see you tomorrow on day 5. All right, have a nice day, guys.